Hey guys, welcome to VTech Vlog, a place where you won't find suggestions regarding gadgets and vehicles based on my personal experience. So today we have a hot topic that's cost of ownership, especially for the Honda Mammers, the iVTECs, and I haven't included the City because I'm only considering the luxury cars here. The Civic 1.8, the Accord 2.4 and the CR-V 2.4. So all of these three share the same technology. The engines are almost same. There is a slight difference of the cubic capacity in the Civic. However, in the Accord and CR-V, these are almost the same engine. They share the same engine. All of these three share the same steering pump as well. The design is same, but the technology, the material, everything is identical. So Civic, Accord and CR-V. Today we will be discussing about these ownership cost, and we are not considering the new vehicles, because if you're getting the Civic, Accord or CR-V, let's say if you are spending in 2020 and 2021, if you're spending 22 lakh for the Civic, same 35-40 lakh for the Accord and same for the CR-V, you won't be worried about the cost of ownership. So we are considering the old cars, and in the 2020 or in the 2021, you would be if you're buying a car, you would be taking it for around you would be keeping it for around 5 years and driving at 10,000 per kilometer. That's summed up to 50,000. So I have taken that calculation. So 5 years, 50,000 kilometers, all of these calculation are upon that. So, and one more thing, if you're getting a car of around 2010 or 2011, I have also considered that there is no pending repair. So the transmission is good, the engine is good, the mountings are good when you are buying the car. Later on, it will end up at around 15,000 or 20,000. So I have included that cost, but when you are buying the vehicle, when you're getting from the previous owner, there is no pending repair. One thing more, if you're getting these cars, the Civic, Accord, CR-V or any of the luxury saloons like Zeta, Laura, Octavia, Superb, please be assured that you are not get trapped by the dealer. These cars are heavily built, the engines are superb, the engines have very false parts. So if the car has done 70,000 kilometers, the car has done 1,50,000 kilometers, you won't get any noticeable difference between these. You get difference between the interior, the switches, the knobs, the plastic, the paint would fade off, the steering leather would fade off, but in the engine compartment there is no noticeable difference. So if the car has done 70,000 or the car has done lakh or 1,10,000, that's very much same. You won't just get aware of it if you ride and you can say the meter is tempered. It's not possible. So if you're getting any of these luxury saloons, be assured that you get the record check from the company itself. So we will directly jump to the fuel consumption now, because that's the hot topic. Kitna deti hai? These are very heavily built, weighted cars, bigger engines, bigger capacity, high on power. The Civic weighs around 1280 kgs, the Accord 100 more than the Civic, the CR-V 100 more than the Accord. So these are very heavy cars, not like the Marutis or Hyundai, which weighs around 800 and 900 kgs and have good mileage. So these are famous for their bad mileage. So if you're buying a used Civic, Accord, CR-V, you discuss in your friends, they would just say कि हाथी मत पाल. So this is the common tendency. So about the fuel consumption, in the 1.8 and in the 2.4, likes of the Civic comes with the 1.8 and Accord and CR-V share the same engine, the 2.4 liter iVTEC 4-cylinder. All of these three comes with the 4-cylinder. There is no 3-cylinder offered in India, and none of these have the turbocharger as well. So in the 1.8 we have the manual and automatic, and same on the 2.4 we have a manual and an automatic. The manual comes with the 5-speed manual transmission as usual, and the automatic comes with the 5-speed CVT transmission. Later on in the CR-V, in the latest generation that was launched in 2014 and 2016, that had a Ziptronic transmission that also shares with the Porsche. Not the same transmission, but the technology. So these figures are averaged out. These are the combined figures in the cities as well as the highways. So in the cities you would get 7 on the Civic. On the highway it jumps up to 14-15. So on the average you got 9. Same on the automatic. In the automatic version you got slightly lower mileage, because the gears are often changed by the transmission, by the electronic module. So in the 1.8 manual you got 9. On the CNG you got higher mileage, because the CNG is very light, the petrol is highly combustible, so it runs very fast. The CNG on the other side is low on torque, it cuts the power from the engine, and it's highly economical. So there's a bump of 30 to 40%. So if you're getting 9 in cities on the manual car, you would get around 14-15 on the CNG. In the automatic, if you're getting 7 on the combined, then you would get 12. Why 12? Because there's a marginal difference, you see. In the automatic version, there is no clutch. So on the when you are initially putting up the vehicle, in the manual you can use the clutch to maneuver the vehicle. There's a heavy weight. In the automatic version, there is no clutch. The actuator opens or the actuator closes. So while moving from a stationary position, the car needs more torque. So in the petrol version, the mileage is not much disturbed, but in the CNG it diminishes from around 8 to 10%. Why? Because the CNG is low on torque, so it needs more input from the gas to get the car moving. In the 2.4 you get 7 on the average combined city and highway, and in the 2.4 automatic it's around 6. On the CNG you get 12, and in the automatic version on the CNG you get 10 kilometers to kg. All of these can hold up to 14 kg capacity cylinder that can hold up to 8.5 kgs to 9 kgs in normal condition. In India, we normally most of the time we get summers, so the gas is compressed, it won't get over 9 kgs. So consider if you are in the Civic, it would last up to 100 and 110, and if you are in the Accord, the CNG cylinder would last up to considering 8.5 to 9 kilograms in the cylinder, it would last up to 80-90 only, not more than that. So this was about the fuel consumption. Here we have the insurance, fuel cost, accidental repairs and repair cost. So the fuel cost is based on this fuel consumption is just the 5-year calculation, that how much would you pay for the 50,000 kilometers. So 5 lakhs for 50,000 kilometers if you ride on the petrol. And again, these are both for manual. It would just vary around 10 to 15,000 kilometers, not more than that. And for the 2.4 it's like a 2.40 lakhs. Now here we have this calculation for the CNG 1.7 lakh. That's very much cheaper than that. I would say it's just around 25% of this. Why? Because I have calculated this as 50% on the CNG. That's not possible in normal condition. So here in the green, this one 3.30 lakhs and 4.20 lakh, this is the combined figure. So if we take 50% and 50% for both petrol and CNG, so if you drive 25,000 in the petrol and 25,000 in the CNG, so you would cost 3,30,000 for the 1.8 liter. That's marginally cheaper than the petrol if you drive alone on the petrol. In the 2.4, here you are getting 2.40 lakhs as the fuel cost for 5 years. But if you drive 50% on the petrol and on the CNG, you would get around 4.20 lakh. That's around 2.2 lakh rupees cheaper than the petrol driving alone. So this was all about the fuel cost. Now start with the insurance first. In the insurance, 37,500 and 45,000. This is not for the single insurance. This is a lump sum amount for 5 years. So like your car is 10-year-old, you won't get the zero DAP insurance. This is the comprehensive insurance in which you have to share the amount from the insurance company for the part you got. So let's say if you're getting a Civic for 2.5 lakh or 3 lakh rupees, the IDV value would be around 3 lakh 50,000 to 4 lakh rupees, and for the first year it would be like 8,500 to 8,000 rupees. In the consecutive year it would be around 7,500, and likes of the IDV diminishes, the insurance premium is also decrease. So for the 5 years on pro rata it's around 37,500, and for the 2.4, because the Accord and CRV have different on-road prices, so for the Accord and CRV it's marginally higher at 45,000. So for the first year it would be like 10-11,000, on the second year at 8-9,000, so like that. So it's a lump sum amount, it's not exact. So for the insurance for 1.8, 37,500, 38,000, it can go lower up to 35,000 if you get the lower IDV value. Same for the 2.4, if you get a higher IDV value, it can go up to 55,000, 60,000. This is the average amount. So now come to the accidental repair. So in the accidental repair, I have taken 50,000 kilometers, 5 years. Lining and flaps. Lining and flaps means fender lining and the mud flaps only for the front. So if in case you got caught by a pothole, you hit a divider, so your lining and your flaps would tear. So 5 sets for 5 years, 1 set a year, 20,000 for 5 years. So lining and flaps cost somewhat around 4,000 for a year, including labor, because 33,000 34,000 is the cost of the lining, and the flaps are available for around 120 to 200 rupees. So that would cost around 20,000 rupees. Nominal crashes, in nominal crashes I have taken if you are parking your car, you get scratched your side, you get a dent on the front or the rear, that's just the touching or the normal painting or dry denting painting, nothing else. No part change, no part tear, it's just the labor cost and some touching and denting work. Basically the labor cost that would cost you around 10,000 a year. So let's say if in 6 months you need to repair, get your bumper repaired, you get to repaint it, you need to get it redented, the mechanic would cost you around 3,000 to 3,500. Same for the side, so it's around 50,000 for 5 years. Electrical fails, so these are the luxury cars, they don't fail as much. So electrical fails only conclude the fuses, some wires, some bulbs, etc. So this 5,000 wholly includes the labor cost, because fuses, bulbs वगैरह only cost around 120 rupees, not more than that. Now this is the most interesting part, suspension and shockers. The suspension and shockers is taken into the accidental repair, not in the repair cost. Why that? Because the suspension and shockers in these premium cars are very heavily built. They last up to 1.5 lakh kilometers to 1.8 lakh kilometers. They won't just end up at 70,000. So let's say if you have a vehicle, if you have purchased a vehicle at 70,000 kilometers, and if you have rode it 30,000 to 40,000, you won't have any issues in the suspension. They are very heavily built. But in case you hit a pothole, you hit a divider, then you can end up tempering your suspension and shockers. You can get your shockers leak, you can get your springs down. So in that case only it would cost you around 50,000, and this 50,000 and basically all of these repairing costs is not from the Honda service center authorized. These are from the aftermarket, because if you're getting from the company's authorized service center, they would charge you lots of tax, they would charge you lots of labor, because they need to maintain their legacy, they need to maintain their expenses, they need to maintain their staff. So these all are the costs from the aftermarket. So like if you're changing the shocker and spring once in 50,000, it would cost you around 42,000 rupees for all of this stuff, including your links, including your suspension, including your shocker, and the mechanic would cost you around 4 to 5,000 rupees for the overhaul. So this was all about the accidental repair. Now come to the repair cost. On the front we have the coils and plug. So in the coils and plug we are not considering the Honda coil. The plugs are the iridium, so we have to get them from the Honda or from the NGK. We have several premium aftermarket manufacturer for the iridium plugs. For the coil we are considering Hitachi or NGK, because the company, the Honda is not a manufacturer, they just only do assemblies. They doesn't make any engine, they doesn't make any body part, doesn't make any mounting. They outsource the mounting, they outsource the parts and then assemble it, and they sell on the name of Honda. So the coils are not from the Honda. In the Honda packaging that consist coils from Hitachi, NGK and some other manufacturer like Denso. These are the electric manufacturer which makes the coils, sensors, etc. for the companies. So from the company the coil is available for around 6,400 6,500 rupees, but from the aftermarket we got it around 2200 to 2,500 rupees. And for the plugs, the plug cost around 800 900 for a single piece. So I have considered coils to be changed once in 50,000 kilometers, because the car is already done 70,000. It's not just कि 50,000 में आपकी coil खराब होगी, it's already done 70,000 kilometers. Same for the plugs. We don't know the earlier owner have the previous owner have changed the plug or not. So we're gonna change 2 times, 25,000 for one set of plug. Coil and plug 70,000 each, so 8,000 for the coil and 4,000 2 times for the plugs. The labor cost is very low, 100 200 rupees for the plug and coil, because these are just bolt-on things. Mountings, so this is these two things, mounting and the steering pump, also the steering rack. This is the common problem with these three, because the steering pump is very identical, the technology is same, the seals are same, these are almost same, just the mounting, the suspension the steering pumps bolt placement is different. Other than that, the technology, the item is very much identical. So steering pump leakage from the seals, the steering rack issues, and the mounting, especially the hydraulic and transmission mounting, is very prone to break. And they break very often, like 25,000 to 30,000 kilometer they end up. So in mounting from the aftermarket, from the company it's very expensive, but from the aftermarket you can get it from decently brand which is supplied to the Hondas as well, not like the Thailand wala item kya hai, they got for around 2,000-2,500 rupees, but these mountings are very much similar to the Honda. They are exactly the same from the Honda, but not in the packing. So this would cost you around 15,000 rupees. Now the tires. So in the 50,000 you gonna change the tire only once, because they last up to 60-70,000. So one set of tire for all five, including the stepney as well, because the car have done 70,000, the stepney won't be in good condition as well. Now the steering pump. In the steering pump, I would suggest you to go for the company one, because the steering pump is very prone to leak, and especially just for the original oil. Don't go for aftermarket steering oils like Castrol. It doesn't matter how expensive the oil you are pouring in the Honda steering pump. If you are not using the Honda specific oil, it just break up the seal. So from the company, the steering pump is of around 26,000-28,000 rupees, and from the aftermarket, the Thailand one you got from 8,000 to 8,500, and the mechanic would cost you around 1,500 to 2,000 rupees for the installation. In this company steering pump, I am considering that you have got the part from the Honda, the original part from the Honda, the original box, but you're getting it installed from the aftermarket mechanic. Now service. Also service from out of the Honda, not from the authorized service center. 30,000 for 5 years, 6,000 each, because all of these eats around 4 to 4.5 liters of fully synthetic oil, that too of a premium quality like Castrol Edge or Liqui Moly, that costs around 4,000 to 4,500, plus the cabin filter and the air filter on each 6 times. So 10,000 after every 10,000 and after 1 year. Now the brakes. So in the brakes, just one set of brake, one set for rear, one set for front. 15,000 from the company. The company's cost around 8,000 for the front and 7,000 for the rear. Again, the installation is from the aftermarket, because if you get it installed from the service center, they will charge you the labor, they will charge you the high tax. But there is an aftermarket option as well, that is from the Thailand. There's written Nissan, but I don't know if they are original or not. But in the markets, the aftermarket brake pads are available for 4,000 and 3,000 respectively for front and rear. So this was all about the cost. Now I have just total all of the cost for the Civic. If you are driving on petrol, so the Z1 denotes the petrol, it would cost you around 7.9 lakh rupees. But if you are driving mixed, 25,000 on petrol, 25,000 on CNG, you would spare some money around 1.7 lakh rupees, and it will cost you around 6.2 lakhs. Same goes for the Honda and CR-V, 9.4 lakhs if you are on the petrol only, 9.4 lakhs. But if you go on to the CNG and petrol mix, then you would get 7.2. That's around 2 lakh rupees cheaper than this, 2.2 lakh rupees cheaper. That's just because of 6.4 to 4.20. There's a difference just because of the CNG. Nothing other than that. So this was all about the ownership cost. Your car cost is not included in this. You have to add that separately. This is only the cost of maintenance, your accidental repairs, your repair costs, your normal repair, running repairs, your insurance, your fuel, etc. Nothing other than that. The major thing, 2,000 and plus car with 70,000, 50,000 to 75,000 kilometers, and you are getting that car to home without any pending repair. The car is in the fit condition. Now you are keeping that for 5 years and you would be driving it for 50,000 kilometers. So this is a rough data that this would cost you around 6.2 lakhs if you have a CNG on board, and in the Accord 7.2 liters if you have the CNG on board specifically. After this calculation, it will be very easy for you to decide either to buy these cars or not. So basically there's a calculation, like if you having a Civic or Accord from the 2010, and it will cost you more than a new vehicle, because in this cost, in this ownership cost for 5 years, you can get a new i20 and can ride that peacefully. But in the Accord and Civic, there is a heritage, there is enthusiasm, there is a class. So just because of that, one would be investing in these cars. So if you like the video, do like, subscribe and share, and do share to your friends if they're gonna if they are planning for a new vehicle, if they're planning for to buy a Civic or Accord or CRV, do share to them as well.